Hello and welcome to another episode of the False Start Fantasy Podcast. I'm your host, and my co-host today is Josh Newshafer. How you doing, Whopper?
I'm doing pretty good. Teaching kind of sucks sometimes, but glad to be back.
That is teaching for you. Yeah, it kind of sucks sometimes. Any rewarding factors in it?
Every now and then you get to have fun, making do stuff that they hate to do, but you think it's fun. Play music that they hate, but every now and then you actually have the moment where you're like, I'm proud of you, kid. I'm proud of you. You managed to finally write a halfway decent essay.
See, there you go. That's after you filled the water bottle full of wine, correct?
No comment. I plead the fifth.
All right, well, we have a super special episode today. We're going to be doing a Mayhem mock draft for the NFL this coming up this Thursday, and I'm pretty pumped for it. Whopper, this is your first time doing a Mayhem mock draft, correct?
Correct.
I did one, I think, 3 weeks ago after having more than one IPA, we'll say, and I don't remember how well it turned out, but I think it was fun. So we're going to be doing another one here, this time with the two of us. We're going to be alternating. Whopper, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll let you take the first pick.
All right, cool. Well, then let's go ahead and jump into it. We'll be spinning this and explaining it as we go, but for the most part, it's pretty simple.
That was really easy.
This is very easy indeed. So first overall pick, we're gonna be going J.J. McCarthy. Oh no, Caleb Williams it is. All right, Whopper.
Alright, what torture do I get today?
Best fantasy
let's
player. So this can be a little
let's see
subjective,
here.
but we do have the Fantasy Pros rankings here to help you out. We'll pull it up on Superflex.
Let's see. Since Caleb Williams is off the table, that pretty much just leaves Marvin Harrison left. So I think I'll take the Marvin Harrison.
All right, the Washington Commanders saying we'll pick up a quarterback in the second round. We're going with Marvin Harrison Jr. The chaos and the mayhem is starting early. Oh wow! Okay, I'm not picking tonight. We're going by ADP. That says Drake May. So congratulations, New England Patriots. You've got the next Mitch Trubisky. No, I'm kidding. All right. So next we have Screw Arrival. It's pretty much up to you, however you want to interpret that Whopper. But Cardinals are here at 4. They can trade. They can pick a player that they know a rival wants. It's up to you. I don't see a lot of NFC West teams up here, so
Yeah, they're all towards the bottom. I think
yeah.
the next one is the Rams. Let's see. I do actually think they're going to trade this pick away, but for sake of simplicity, um, I know one of the things like a lot of the rivals need are O linemen, so they might as well go ahead and take the best one, Joe Alt.
All right. I think that's an underrated option. Nobody's talking about it, but Cardinals could use offensive line help. And yes, they did draft a tackle last year, but that doesn't stop them. All right, big reach, and lucky for me, it's the Chargers, meaning they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna do a big reach here, and I think there's a player that makes the most sense to me, and that's gonna be Laiatu Latu, the edge rusher out of UCLA. I want to think about it for a second just to be sure. Is that even a big enough reach? 13. Is that a big enough reach, Whopper?
I'd say so.
You'd say so? All right, we're going to go big reach. Chargers, yeah, they re signed Bosa and Khalil Mack, but given those two's injury history, they're not playing a full season. So Latu's going to get some playing time this year. Chargers are looking to the future at the edge rush position.
Alrighty. Back to best fantasy. Let's see. Giants. Did they go with the quarterback or did they stick to a receiver case? I think they'll also go receiver, so give me Malik Neighbors, however you say
Malik
his name.
Neighbors. Yep, that's correct. All right, LSU wide receivers seem to do pretty well in the NFL. So Malik Neighbors getting a receiver finally for Daniel Jones. Drafter's choice. Now, every time I've done a mock draft for myself, Joe always has been going here at 7. It just seems destiny for the Titans, but he's gone, meaning the Titans got to look somewhere else. And I really want to go Rome Odunze. Uh, DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley are a little old, but they also have Traylon Burks as a bit of a project and not too like far removed from being that first round pick that they still have hope for. So I think I'm going to be going with Dallas Turner here. 5-star recruit at a high school, edge rusher for Alabama, should be doing pretty good on that Tennessee offense or defensive line.
Straight down.
All right, Atlanta Falcons. They're going to be looking to trade out of this pick. They really wanted Turner or Latu, so they're going to move out of here. Who's going to be trading up is kind of the question.
Since on this one, Jaden Daniels is still available, the Broncos move all the way up to 8. Take Jaden Daniels.
All right, now this has been pretty difficult. I won't lie. Doing the trading on this website for some reason is so difficult. So we kind of just have to go crazy with it. Yep, got rejected. Wasn't enough. I think if I do it as the Broncos to Atlanta. There we go. All right.
Makes sense.
Broncos trading up. Jaden Daniels fell in the draft, so they're getting their QB of the future. Other than Zach Wilson, of course. Okay, I like this. The Bears have been making moves. Ever since Ryan Poles began their jam, the Bears have not stopped trading ever. And while I would love to see them just draft Rome Odunze or even Brock Bowers, they're going to be trading down because another team wants a quarterback. I don't see them trading within the division. So maybe this is more of a screw the rival pick, but they're going to go ahead and trade with the Raiders. Wait, I think I need to start with the Bears, then pick the Raiders. Yeah, I needed to start with the Raiders. There we go. We're going to draft their QB of the future, and as a Jaden Daniels and JJ McCarthy hater, this is awesome. And as a Chiefs fan, of course. Watching those two mortgage the future to get a bad player, awesome.
Big reach for
Big reach for the Jets.
Jets.
J-E-T-S, Jets.
And they can't do anything with Zach Wilson, so that kind of sucks. Let's see. Would be a interesting one for them to push on.
It's tough because that defense is so good. You can't really find a hole there.
I know. You know what? I got one. They were so enamored with this guy's speed, they're going to go Xavier Worthy.
Holy cow, this is the John Ross of the draft. The Jets are saying we need speed. Xavier Worthy's the man. That's a good one. That's a good big reach. I like that.
Thank you.
And for my third ADP pick of the night, we will finally be selecting Roma Dunze. I never seen this guy go outside the top 8 before, so it's fun. Oh, thought
Another
you were gonna
trade
get
down.
ADP.
Okay, so Falcons.
Falcons traded down once. They're ready to trade down again. They're saying we don't like this draft.
Uh, they will trade down with. I don't. The Bengals.
Okay.
Bengals will select Penn State tackle, however you say his name.
Yeah, Olu Fashanu. I like that.
Because they desperately need O-line help.
I think I figured it out. And yeah, you know what? I actually could see that very much happening. Falcons are just ready to keep trading back. They like their spots. They've collected now two extra first round picks. Just
Mm-hmm.
moving down 10 spots. That's pretty good. And the Bengals get what should be a franchise tackle for them. That's a good move. That's a good move.
Yep.
Need more mayhem.
Agreed. Slight reach. Okay.
Slight reach, and I think that makes sense for the Bears and their MO. I think normally Bears would be good. This pick would be Brock Bowers, Tiernan Arnold, maybe Fawaga if you're high on that.
Mm-hmm.
I personally have Verse pretty low, so I would be pretty pumped to call that, a slight reach. But I think what I'm going to be going with instead is a guy who's usually mocked in the teens and, ignore the rankings on here. But Jackson Powers Johnson is usually around like pick 16, pick 18 or so. So I'll be calling that a slight reach for the Bears there at pick 13.
Alrighty.
Franchise center, I think the team would be very happy with that. Another slight reach here for the New Orleans Saints.
Slight reach. Let's see. What do the Saints?
It's tough. It's tough because it's like when you think about the Saints roster, no position is really great, but a lot of positions are pretty good. Like they drafted Brzee last year, so the defensive line has is able to get some pressure. It's offensive line. It has definitely some holes on it, but overall is a above average unit. Receivers aren't terrible.
I got an
Running
interesting
backs.
one if you consider this one a slight. That'll be Michael Penix.
I would call that a big reach, personally.
Okay.
I think that guy's usually going in the second round.
Gotcha. I had no idea where he was going.
Yeah, he's the concerns about his deep ball accuracy and how helped he was by the fantastic system and his injury history has really moved him pretty far down in the draft.
Gotcha. In that case,
I would like to
they
see
will.
him go as like to the Saints though, because I think that could be a good system for him. The
Mhm.
Saints are very loyal to the players that start with that team, so they're willing to give him more time than a lot of other fan bases.
Exactly. Let's go Byron Murphy, DT Texas.
I like that. Byron Murphy is a guy who's just really fantastic. You can talk about him probably better than I can.
I hated him. He made life hell for K-State.
He made life even more hell for KU, I'll tell you that. That game was horrible.
That is accurate.
All right, drafter's choice. To me, this is an instant log. Brock Bowers, tight end, super awesome player. That is a weapon for the Colts that I have been dreaming of. I'm so happy that was drafter's choice.
Of course, I get the big reach again.
Of course, you get a big reach. Lots of great players
Okay.
here. Let's flip through it. So, Seahawks offensive line, has been talked a lot about what they need help
Hmm.
there. Fata now and not Guyton. Where is the Duke guard? Am I crazy? Oh, he's listed as a center in here. Graham Barton, is another guy who's being listed there, but they also need, some defensive tackle help. Johnny Newton, or if you're really high on Hall, and you can always get corner help. So, what are you
Let's
feeling?
see. That's a good question. You know what? Just because I gotta do it. They already got Tyler Lockett. Let's add some more K-State blood in there. Give me Cooper Beebe.
Oh, offensive guard grabbing the best guard in the draft. I like it. Cooper Beebe is a beast, criminally underrated.
Hmm. Watching him destroy a Houston player. So satisfying.
Screw a rival. Now, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they've been so bad for so long. I don't know if they have a rival, to be honest. So, we gotta go somewhere within the division, I think is the only option.
Hmm.
Oh, problem is the division is horrible.
Let's see. About
And there's.
Houston's the only thing.
Well, see, the thing is, Houston's traded their pick already to the Cardinals.
That's right.
So.
Um,
Does Jacksonville have any other rivals? I gotta.
I guess a way to screw the Chiefs because everyone hates the Chiefs.
Yeah, sure. Screw the Chiefs. Maybe they trade down with the 49ers, who are a um, definite contender for the Super Bowl. This would be letting the 49ers grab an excellent weapon. This isn't gonna work. Oh, it worked.
Ooh,
Okay.
that
Yeah, see,
worked.
49ers definitely a weapon for the for the Super Bowl, or an enemy of the Chiefs at least. So trading with them and then picking right before them, I think would be a pretty decent move for a screw the rival pick. And I think this is an automatic lock for me. Terrion Arnold is my cornerback one in the draft. 49ers need cornerback help. That's the move.
I swear, if I get trade down again,
Dude, I'm I don't know what I'd do.
okay, okay, I'll take it.
Big
Uh,
reach might be just as bad, but all right.
shoot. What do the Falcons need?
Falcons trade all the way down to 18 just to do a big reach on a player.
What this? Okay. Let's see who has a. Let's see. You know what? They're in Georgia. Let's give them Lad McConkey.
Oh, okay. See, you know what? I don't hate it. It is definitely a big reach, but he's a guy who always is able to get open. He's one of those like Hunter Renfro, types of like they got the elite route running, so it's not bad. All right, LA Rams. They just had the 49ers trade ahead of them, so they kind of just got screwed by a rival. Um, Cardinals, I guess, are technically a rival, but really the
Yeah.
Cowboys are a definite rival. The Eagles are a rival to them. You know, Rams hate a lot of these good NFC teams,
Hmm.
Vikings. So maybe they just trade down a couple picks so they can get in front of them. But I think what I'm seeing here from these teams is that all three of these teams could use another cornerback. Maybe the Cowboys don't, but you know, these two teams for sure need a cornerback. So I think I'm just going to stick here and draft who I consider the next best cornerback, and that would be Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. And I'll call that screwing a couple rivals there because they were hoping that guy would fall to them.
Alrighty. guy.
Pittsburgh Steelers. There's the Ravens down there.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, the Steelers kind of hate everybody. They're not the.
Yeah. Um. Huh.
Huh is a
Let's
good way to put
see.
it. That is a tough one to screw right here. They're going to be, AFC, fringe contenders. You know,
Mhm.
Dolphins are a team that they knocked out of the play, or they took their playoff spot a couple years ago. So already picking right here is a decent option. But Bills, Ravens, Chiefs are all AFC teams that
I
they're going to
could
be
see
competing with.
them
At least they want to
trading
be.
down to the Lions, so that way they're ahead of the Chiefs and the Ravens.
All right, I see you. Who are you thinking the Lions would then pick?
That is a good question.
What is it? Very good.
Um. Oh, who was the? What position did they lose on the O line? Because I know they lost someone. Trying to remember.
Um, hmm, not
One
sure.
is it center or
No, Lions kept their center.
might have been in guard then.
There's a couple good guards here. It's not a bad option.
Okay.
There we go.
So. Okay. So what do they?
Fontenot is pretty good. Johnny Newton on the defensive line, he's great. Graham Barton's awesome, though he's listed as a center. You can play all over.
Let's see. You know what? I'll go 2-for-1 special because if I remember correctly, it was a guard. So they're going to take a chance, get the best card they can. Give me Christian Haynes. 2-for-1 special there.
Christian Hayes. It's not bad. I think Graham Barton's list a little bit better, but knowing the Detroit Lions, they're not worried about other people's rankings. They're going with the guy they like the most. I like it. Best fantasy player here has got to be Brian Thomas Jr. Could be Xavier Worthy. These are both, hope to be ex receivers out there on the
Worthy's already
outside.
picked.
What'd you say?
I say Worthy's already gone on
Oh
this
yeah,
one.
that's
So
right. He was that. Yeah, so it's gonna be
big
Brian
reach.
Thomas Jr. I think he's more of. Dang, this is just a crazy receiver room for the Dolphins. There's a lot of speed there, a lot of athleticism.
Only slightly terrifying.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yes.
All right, screw a rival. And for the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, this is easy. Rival, 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 arguably a rival, past rival. It's all good here for the Eagles.
Let's see. What do the Cowboys need?
Right now, I'll tell you this: Cowboys are only looking at tackle. Vegas has the Cowboys
All right.
at minus 215 for an offensive lineman.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and Eagles, while of course they've got their two tackle positions under wraps, they're moving their left guard to center, and their right guard wasn't too great of a position for them last year, anyways. So, if
Mm-hmm.
they put a tackle at guard for a year, tell them to build it up, and then take over a tackle, that's pretty good.
I will go then with the highest rated, just in general, lineman they have left to give me Talisi Waga.
Absolutely. I like that pick a lot, and if he fell that far, Eagles fans would just be like, how does this keep happening? How do we keep getting the best players?
Why do you get all the good ones?
Drafter's choice. Hey, I had 3 ADP picks. I get 3 drafter's choices. And to me, this one is harder than I thought it was going to be. I was going to say it's easy because Fontenot, I think, is a top, like, 12, top 15 player. That guy's fantastic. But I also think Johnny Newton is another player up there. And Graham Barton's not that far off. And all three are positions that I want the Vikings to be drafting. They got a Dunze earlier, so it's gonna be anything I want now. I'm taking Fonta now. That guy's awesome. He's a hell of a guard, and guards are underrated. Trey Smith man
Exactly.
here.
Slight reach. Cowboys. It's probably big reach.
I don't think this is too hard for the Cowboys to do a slight reach because there's a few tackles here, but if you just make the argument that they don't like, the top rated guy, it's not too impossible to picture.
Okay, give me. Who has a fun name? Let's go Jordan Morgan, guy with the two first names.
Exactly.
Why not?
Yeah, yeah. It was definitely 2 first names, and yeah, he tested like an athletic freak. So shout out to him. ADP is gonna say, I don't think it'll be Jared Verse. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Quinyon Mitchell or maybe Johnny Newton. So we're looking here at the mock draft database. It takes the top picks, and yeah, it's Quinyon Mitchell. That's what I thought. Packers need a corner. That's not a bad one.
Okay.
Trading all over the place here.
Let's see.
For the guys that you'd be trading for, Johnny Newton is definitely up there. Graham Barton. You could be saying that a team is wanting the 5th-year option on Penix, but I think it's early for that. Verse is a good edge rusher. Mims is obviously a great offensive tackle. So, maybe there's a team in the second round who's willing to give up a couple seconds to get this first-round picks. Who knows?
Okay. Let's see. How are the Bills on tackle?
I think the Bills are good, but there's been a run on receivers. They could, be really only liking Mitchell as a tier 1 guy. They could be looking to trade up.
Yeah. So we'll have Bills trade up. And let's make it a little bit more interesting instead of Mitchell. They'll go Coleman instead.
Keon Coleman, that's a guy who I really like. He's being called only a possession guy, but it's just like, how is this guy a first-round pick when we are watching college football, and now that we're not watching college football, we're calling him not a first-round pick? Doesn't make sense to me. Screw a rival. Cardinals, that's pretty much impossible down here. All of these picks have been traded.
I guess Buccaneers, since they're in the same division.
Well, they're not. It's the same.
Like conference.
Yeah.
Conference.
That's gonna have to be good enough. I think they're both gonna be looking at the same players here, Jared Verse and Johnny Newton. However, the Buccaneers like to run more of the 3-4 so that they can have the best nose tackle in the league playing that nose tackle position. So I think they'd be looking more at the edge rusher position, so I'll be taking Jared Verse there.
Alright. God damn it.
There are no NFC players left here. Um, oh, wait,
Uh,
wait, wait. This actually works out because the Panthers are right here at 33.
okay. The Panthers need everything, so I just picked the best option, I guess,
Yeah, just
basically.
whatever position they would
Johnny
want.
Newton, I guess.
Yeah, that is definitely a player that they would be wanting there at 33. It's hilarious he has fallen this far.
Uh,
ADP. All right,
what the hell?
we're catching up here. I better look at who's available. It's probably gonna be Mims, um, DeJean, McKinstry, Barton be the other players. Yeah, looks like Cooper DeJean here, Mims, McKinstry, Barton. Yep, Cooper DeJean here, and I don't hate that honestly for Pittsburgh Steelers. They're gonna have two young corners there, hoping to lock down the secondary position for them with Minka Fitzpatrick. I think that's good for the Steelers. All right, best
Okay.
fantasy player.
Um,
So we got Mitchell, Polk, Leggett, Franklin. Franklin's here, Mitchell.
they'll probably take. In this case, I'm just gonna go with Mitchell because he's the highest ranked, or at least is what I'm looking at right now.
I'm looking at Fantasy Pros and it has Franklin higher personally. I think that's because his ADP is higher, but
Gotcha.
I do see the argument for Mitchell during the actual draft. But receivers are needed for the Ravens. I think it's an underrated possibility for that team. Oh God, the Jaguars have screw arrival, and I think that's okay with me. Um, the Chiefs are projected to take a wide receiver, and so many have gone in the first round. I think there's only one guy that is arguably a first round receiver left, though I apologize, Polk fans, and I know there's some Roman Wilson and Walker fans and Pearsall fans out there, so I'll be taking Adonai Mitchell. That guy is really, really athletic and just a great receiver when he gets the opportunity to be that. For the
Okay.
last pick, the Chiefs are me looking at screwing a rival. Looking at the time of draft, the Chargers aren't too far off.
Okay.
Um,
What do the Chargers need?
Chargers need everything. They definitely don't have a corner. Arguably need a tackle. Could
Gotcha.
use O-line help. Their linebackers are
Um,
bad. Receivers are horrible.
hmm.
There is no position you couldn't take that would be good. Wouldn't be good.
Chiefs are feeling a little sweet. They'll get a nice glass of some Kool-Aid with some McKinstry on the side.
I like that, but oh, I'm looking at offense. That's why Kool-Aid and McKinstry is going there, and I don't even know how the simulator is gonna grade this out. But we'll pull up the full results here so everyone can look. And what a great Mayhem doesn't even begin to explain what just happened. Um, so many screw rival picks. The Panthers would be here at 33, and they would just be struggling, I think, to pick a guy that they would like. There's definitely some good players left, but not in the positions that they would be wanting. Uh, Whopper, what do you think of the Mayhem?
Uh, as far as I can tell, it's definitely a lot of mayhem, especially because I have like no idea who most of these guys are, and naturally, I got all the really spicy ones. So let's just go for it, basically.
I
But
I
definitely
like it.
fun.
Yeah, I like it. Do you have a favorite pick that you made or that was made at all here other than Cooper Beebe?
The funniest one to me was the Xavier Worthy one, just because I remember John Ross. I'm like, This seems like a Jets thing to do.
It does seem like a Jets thing to do. I was just watching a highlight on YouTube of the worst Jets picks ever, and just their fans reacting and being like, "What? Who?"
Was really hoping to get big reach on the Chiefs, because then just take Vincent just to complete the Kansas State
Wow.
the duo,
Sure.
but that didn't happen. Said I had to go some Bama player.
Yeah. The uh, Chargers definitely needed a corner, so that is a very good screw you pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe he fell so far. I would be pumped if Kool-Aid fell all the way to 32. He'd be a guy I'd
Same
happily
here.
trade up into the 20s for.
Especially after losing Snead. Yeah.
Yeah, I think personally, my favorite pick was your Fawaga pick here for the Eagles. That one seems really awesome to me. That guy could play guard for a couple years while before their tackles retire, and then just transition right on over. It just dominate there at the tackle position,
Mm-hmm.
learning from those guys. That looks scary to me. If he falls, or if any of these great offensive linemen fall and get to play guard, psh, look out, because
Terrifying.
that's yeah, good luck. Exactly. All right, well, I think that about does it. Check us out on Twitter at Cameron's Ego and at Josh Newshafer. Um, but also check us out at the at Fall Start F Pod, and that'll about do it. Whopper, anything else to add?
I'm excited for the draft. I should be able to at least watch day one, so please, Chiefs, pick Vincent eventually. That's all I want right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I took Friday off so I can play game with a couple of friends of mine on Discord. Where if I get the pick right, taking a drink. If I get the pick wrong, I'm taking two drinks, and we're gonna see how that
Oh,
goes. Because last year, if
oh
I
God.
remember, around pick 20, I was not remembering players' names. So follow me on
Oh,
Twitter so you can see that when it happens.
make sure you drink somewhat responsibly.
Drink
That's all I
somewhat
gotta ask.
responsibly.
As your former DD.
I'll call you all the way from Kansas City. You can drive that far.
Gotcha. I'll be there by 6 a.m.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening uh, to the Fall Start Fantasy Podcast. Have a great draft week.